Ruth 3:8-11. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. And he said, Blessed be thou to the Lord Yahweh, my daughter, for thou hast shown me more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou request, for all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman. Ruth receives acceptance, recognition, and a reward for being virtuous and loving. She also receives a conditional promise of marriage, but first a higher kinsman must allow it. Higher kinsman is obviously a parallel for Yahweh. And by the way, Boaz was startled but not afraid. A terrible translation. Ruth 4:1-6. Then went Boaz up to the gate and sat down there, and behold, a kinsman of whom Boaz spoke came by, unto whom he said, Ho, such as one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. And he took men of the elders of the city, and said, Sit ye down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother Elimelech's. And I thought to advertise thee, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants, and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, and I may know. For there is none to redeem it besides thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. Then said Boaz, What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now Boaz, acting as Messiah's parallel, has received the right to redeem from the elder kinsman, a parallel of Yahweh, the land of Naomi, a symbolic promised land, and Ruth, the symbolic bride of Messiah, Yahweh's proxy. Ruth 4:7-17. Now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changes, for to confirm all things a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, Buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and to all the people, Ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech, and all that was Kilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my own wife, to raise up in the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead not be cut off from among his brethren. And from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that which is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord Yahweh shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife, and when he went in unto her, the Lord Yahweh gave her conception, and she bare a son. And the women said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of life, and a nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. And Naomi took the child, and laid it in her bosom, and became nurse unto it. And the women her neighbors gave it a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi, and they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. And the rest is history. It is plain to see the plan of salvation was already mapped out many generations prior to the physical birth of the set-apart Messiah. And the story of Ruth is just one parallel that exposes it to those with ears to hear and eyes to see. How can anyone think that Messiah was anything but a pivotal, set-apart human in a pre-existing plan of salvation, who, by the way, came from the loins of Ruth and Boaz?